Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. In today's trade recap, we're going to go over markets, the trades I took, why I was bearish, and yeah, I got 2 Bs on the day. So fucking shit, I'll show my executions. Execution marks. So I took this trade off a 5-minute, 2-minute inversion, this trade off 15-minute for value gap CIST 3-minute inversion. It's just absolute bullshit, honestly. But yeah, we'll get into it. Let me turn these executions off. Where's the setting? It's not this. Oh, yeah, I use on yes. There we go. Right. I'll just get rid of this shit now. And then I'll go in replay mode to market open. So on market open, I was feeling a bit bullish. We had taken out this sell side and previously low. We had London high, Asia high, and this forward intermediate high as our draws. We also had the previous day high and this daily for value gap, but we did inverse this forward for value gap here. So I was leaning, I could potentially see us trading up into the daily, but I could also see us coming down lower towards these internal lows and just the sell side, these weekly lows as well. So upon market open, we had opened up higher, looking like we were going to want to go up and take out these buy side draws on liquidity. So I ended up tapping this 5-minute and then continuing higher towards the buy side draws. We ended up taking out London high, and then we end up edging Asia and this 4 internal high. Same with ES. ES also edged that, and then we end up opening up this 5-minute. So I was going to potentially look for longs out of this 5-minute towards these Asia high and 4 internal high, but I just didn't like how we were kept pushing through it, and we didn't really make any good fair value gaps to kind of inverse, and then that 2-minute would have been so close, like you definitely would have got a negative R. But yeah, we ended up closing through the 5, well, not quite closing through it, but we respected the 5-minute, and then we just started dumping heavy. But at the 15-minute candle, we can see this heavy rejection, and at this point, like you can't just marry a bias. You've got to understand that these big wicks of rejection, like just because we've left relative equal highs here, doesn't mean we're gonna take it out. And to get hooked up on that and hooked up on a long bias, purely because of that, is something you don't want to do. So I was leaning more bearish after this now, maybe towards this sell side here, this sell side, and then this 1 hour internal low here, and then we have these weekly lows as well, which is what I was leaning towards taking. And then the reason as well is why I thought we could be bearish is because if we look, we have an internal high here within the 1 hour. Like this doesn't look like a bad area for us to reject, and I could definitely see us rejecting from this area, which we did do. So it makes sense for us to now be bearish, especially if we display so heavily through this 5-minute gap. So yeah, we ended up displacing through this, and then we ended up getting ourselves a 5-minute. Right now, this off, put it back a bit more. Here, we ended up getting this 5-minute for value gap here, and then we ended up having a 2-minute inversion off of it right here. So I first entered my first trade here. I got a little bit of a better entry. I got a bit here. Offer price coming higher. Put my stop loss at the down close body, and then I just would have went for this and this other low down here. So I would have took a partial here, and then left a runner for this 1 hour internal low. I also had my break even at this 1 minute internal internal low here. So this was my break even here. just because I had good R for this to be a take profit instead of a break even. So I like this break even, it just made sense. And then I ended up getting wicked out right here for the BE. You already showed my executions. And then we ended up opening up a 15-minute bearish for value gap up here. So I could have definitely seen a better trade to play out if we did this instead. If we came up to the 15-minute, which we ended up doing, we ended up tapping the 15-minute, and we ended up coming very, very high. Ended up respecting equilibrium. This should be red. Ended up respecting equilibrium of this range here. And then we also ended up respecting the 15-minute CISD. 15-minute CISD here. Now we literally tapped EQ perfectly, which I couldn't ask for anything more than that. And then we just had a fat rejection as well. So it's obvious that we're bearish now as well, especially because of this big displacement, 300-point displacement. So at this point, I'm just looking for the highest time frame inversion. We didn't have a 5-minute, we didn't have a 4-minute, but we did have a 3-minute here. So I would see an inversion of this bullish 3-minute gap to then target this as my break even, and then this sell side was gonna be my take profit if the RR was good enough, but it wasn't. So I ended up inversing the 3-minute gap here. Boom, and then I actually didn't enter there. I entered like a bit there. I got a worse entry because there was this there's a bit better entry than that. A bit there. I ended up entering a bit here because we did have a 4-minute, and I just don't know, I was kind of procrastinating a little bit between the 4 and 3-minute, but the 3-minute held better RR, so I ended up just taking the 3-minute inversion instead. And then yeah, the trade didn't even end up playing out, which is just bullshit to be honest. So my break even was here, and then sell side, that would have been my first TP, but it was negative R, so I couldn't even take that, so I had to hold this, or at least a 1-to-1 there, or to the internal low. The 1-to-1 I don't even think got hit either, to be honest. Don't want to be super tinky with my things. But yeah, we ended up taking the sell side, not even hitting my 1-to-1, so I couldn't even take profits here if I wanted to. And then we just kept rejecting, showing just, I don't know, really shit price action, to be honest. And then we ended up going back up, hitting me out at break even, and now we're doing this shit, reacting off the CISD again. And yeah, just, I mean, really unfortunate. I mean, I could understand why it doesn't want to go down, especially after taking this higher time frame drawn liquidity here. Like, it's a good area for us to react off, especially since we held relative equal highs with Asia on ES and NQ. So I could definitely see why we don't want to push down, but I don't know, it was very unexpected. I wasn't wanting to close early just because I wanted to take profit, you know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, I ended up getting 2 break evens on the day. First trade was decent. Second trade was a lot better, but I don't know, it's a bit shit that I couldn't even catch the 1-to-1. So I mean, the first trade I missed out on, like, I was floating at like 400 odd profit, and it's reversed. And then same with this trade, I was floating a bit 250, just over that, and then it reversed. So gutting indeed, but it is what it is. It's part of the game, part of the trading. I'm gonna get off now, because that's 11 o'clock coming in, so that's me done for the day. Unfortunate indeed, but I mean, what can you do? You know what I mean? It's nothing you can do. But yeah, enjoy, guys, enjoy.